What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out Reus 2. This was one of the earliest games that I ever covered when I was a baby YouTuber oh so many double-digit years ago. Back when I was all fresh-faced and ready to conquer the world. Reus 2 is now out all those years later. This is a god game. Something like Black and White and Slipgate, or Slipways, had a baby. That's the way that I would describe it. It's actually very similar to Slipways in a lot of ways, just with the reference point changed around. But this is a game where you create a planet as a god, and you have control over the biomes, and you have control over the animals and the things that are inside those biomes. And then humans will settle inside those areas, and they will pray to you, they will ask you for things, and based on the setup and the way that you interconnect all of your plants and animals and your powers and your biota, they will become more successful and they will thrive, or they will die. That's the other half. And so this is one of those games kind of about being a divine caretaker. Today we're going to dive on in for about 30 minutes. We're going to see if the game is something you wanted to add to your wish list or pass on. If you wanted to check it out, I got a link for you down below in the description. Of course, there will also be a link to my Discord and my Twitch stream down there, just in case you wanted to hang out live. Let's give this thing a go. So it took me a minute. I haven't played the first game probably in a decade, but the first game worked the same way that this one does. Effectively, you do not have, so there's like a timer up here, but this is really just for the animations to play out. At its core, this game is turn-based, and it's very, very, very long turns. You're allowed to do like 50 things on your turn, and Eon is the way that that's measured up here. And in fact, I would make this more prominent. I would add an Eon meter somewhere in here that actually goes down as you use your powers and as you terraform and as you interact with humanity, because it's so tiny up here and difficult to keep track of. You got to kind of like move your whole head if you have a large monitor to go look at it. It would also fit like down in here, fit over here. You could probably do sort of like a sunburst almost meter around the top of that right there. I mean, all that stuff would work. In this game, you have three gods. They are in control of different biomes. We have the nature god, we have the water god, and we have the stone god. All three of these are capable, I guess the Titans, they're not gods. We're gods, and they're our servant that manifests the aspects of ourselves onto the world. So anyways, our Titans can move around and they can change the world. So for example, if I wanted my first culture to live inside of a rainforest, I could take the nature god right here, and I could say, yo, let's terraform. And then I could click on that right there, and I could say, hey, let's do 5 spaces of just rainforest, jungle, and let's see where the culture takes us. So off and away that goes. And as you can see down here, we kind of have cavemen that are rubbing mud on themselves and dancing. We have a prophet. This is the goddess. She's going to want to live somewhere around here. And you'll note that every single one of these little areas is actually comprised of these little hex grids. These hex grids are going to be important later for exactly the same reason that they're important in Slipways. Everything that you put in this game world, from animals to plants to minerals, they have bonuses for being interlocking and being adjacent to one another. They get bonuses for whatever works the humans are doing. So I had a human society become stone workers, and because of that, every mineral that was in the area gave fat bonuses. But you can't just have like mineral next to mineral next to mineral next to mineral. You can only have, so you can put copies of whatever you want inside these areas, but for each distinct thing you put inside this area, your biodiversity goes up. And biodiversity needs to be at certain levels in order for the area to thrive. And so there's kind of like limits on what you can do too in keeping things nice and I guess sort of evened out. So now that we have this place, we probably want to take a look at our goddess. So the goddess thinks the world revolves around her, maybe even the whole universe, particularly interested in gold. Okay, so she wants to have like a gold-based society. If we wanted to settle a nomad, we can do that right now, and we can call the goddess, and we can pick a little slice of our pie for them to live on. Let's call it right there. We lose access to a couple of tiles by doing that, but we still have 8 left, so that's good. You can also zoom out to like the planetary scale if you want, and I'm pretty sure the planet gets bigger later on as time goes along. There's also like attack moves and stuff over here. I haven't been able to play around with the combat yet. I played around with this demo for about an hour prior to this recording, and I hadn't gotten to combat yet because I was really sort of, I guess, engrossed with the game, kind of just fiddling with things and listening to my little people talk and what they're into. One thing you'll probably want to do is take your god, and you're going to want to pick up the leader of this society. There you go. The leader is now in our hand, and we need to talk to this guy. And we want to talk to them about inspiration, because before we start putting things in this area, we want to know what the humans are inspired to do. And for these guys, they can be gem seekers, or they can open up a Temple of the Cat. And so it looks like the Temple of the Cat, they get bonuses for having unique types of cats that live inside of their country's territory. This one over here, for each unique gem that's inside of their borders, they get plus 20 gold. Let's go with the cat temple, maybe? That sounds kind of fun. I don't know what that little moon symbol is right there. I know the food symbol, and I know the gold symbol, and I know the science symbol, but I don't know what that is right there. So I don't know if we can, like, put them down and inspire them to do other stuff. Let's find out. So let's say that I take this god over here, the stone god, and I pick them up. Did they get different options? I love the animation in this game, by the way. I'm having such a hard time telling if it's 2D or 3D, because it's, like, modeled so well. Very, very stark-looking game. It looks like it's the same for all of our gods. It's easier to do Gem Seeker. Gem Seeker will be faster. This guy over here, we've got to unlock cats in order to make that work. And I don't know how many cats we actually have. The water god is responsible for animals. It looks like we have snakes, we have guinea pigs. It looks like we have a sand cat over here, but that can only live inside the desert. It looks like we have a number of fish over here. That's a herring? It looks like a plecostomus. All right. I don't know. I've raised plecostumi my entire life, so it looks like a plecostomus to me, but maybe I'm wrong. We don't really have a lot of cats, so I think we're going to go with gold. It's just going to be too difficult to get 3 different types of cats, because you unlock new animals and plants as you make society happy, and you get, like, god points to unlock things, and it'll just make it'll make things simpler if we just do it this way. So we now have Gem Seeker in this area. Gem Seeker is done. So be it. So now for every gem thing that we put in this area, we get plus 20 to our prosperity. If you take a look, each of these little villages that open up from your nomads, they have 3 different aspects. They have population, they have technology, and they have wealth. Those 3 things, you add them together, and that's the prosperity of this area. Now, we need to get 9 prosperity to get a progress point before this eon rolls over. On top of that, these guys want 8 prosperity, and if we finish that off, we'll be able to unlock some stuff too. So let's get started on it. These guys wanted a mineral in here, was it? Yeah, so they wanted me to put some gems around. If this is adjacent to an animal, it will also get a big bonus right there. So let's put it just right here next to town. Easy peasy. Giant amethyst vein right there. And as you can see, amethyst vein comes on in. It provides a little gold, and then that provides gold. It makes a little pile over here, and then they slowly consume the pile to level up their prosperity. And so they just went up to level 4, and they'll go up to level 5, and they'll mostly make it to level 6, but we'll still have to get a little bit more gold in the area if we want to make that happen. Now, this right here very much wants to be next to an animal biota, so we're going to want to grab this guy over here, and we're going to want to look at kind of like the animals that we can have around here that can live inside this area. So with this filter on, we can get a guinea pig, or we can get a snake. We want to put a snake right there. And then we're going to want to put a guinea pig next to the snake over here so that the snake gets its bonus and then provides a bonus to the amethyst. And you see, it all chains together. It's the same thing that you're doing in Slipways, which is one of my favorite games of all time. I cannot express how much I love Slipways, but it's just presented from a different angle with a number of different ideas. Now, these things that I'm placing, they're costing me. See, we've gone down by 10 eons so far. And so you can see that these things cost me, and the game is kind of you trying to figure out how to best place things that will maximize the bonuses that your cities are getting so that you can complete your quests, advance from, you know, the caveman age to the bronze age, and then you get more buildings and you get more things that you can play around with, and you can kind of see how the game unfolds over time. Population's gone up a little bit over there, money's still ticking upwards. Very nice. The guinea pigs don't really have an interaction, but from doing our side quest, we did just get a draft. So let's go ahead and take a look. Do we want to unlock something for the rainforest, the ocean, the desert? We're in the rainforest right now, so let's go ahead and do that. We have a new gem, the Jade, which plays into what we're trying to do with our gem cutter in this area. So I think we're just going to make these people fantastically freaking wealthy. So let's get that Jade all nice and placed over here. I would say let's put it right there, I guess. And then we'll want to put a technology building right here that benefits from having a gem right next to it. So down goes the gem that we've placed, and there's a bunch of gold. Look at the prosperity over here. It's going so well. Our gem cutter just leveled up to level 2. Jesus, look at that combo right there. So there's not very many people in this empire, but they are fantastically, catastrophically rich. As far as technology buildings go, I don't know exactly what I have. We do have taro right here, which is important to Hawaiian people. This bad boy right here, man, we make everything out of taro. We make poi, we make bread, we make all kinds of goodies out of it. It wants to be next to a mineral, and it does connect right there, and we do get a bonus right here for a plant, so 50% more yield. So I would say let's put it right here because it's going to give us a 30, I think, if we put it right there to our food, which is going to make their population grow a little bit. There we go. Biodiversity is also up. And there goes a ton of food that just got thrown inside of there. And also a whole bunch more money. So that's going to help us tick upwards. No problem. Yeah, these guys are chilling right now at like 13 prosperity. That's pretty good. When you give people your focus, it tends to work out. We've got 35 Eon left. What does that do? Oh, it just gives us like little kind of Civ-style icons to look at. Okay. I was hoping these guys would expand their borders a little bit, but they didn't go for it. We can go with a merchant or we can go with a huntress. These settlers you get, they're randomized. I got a sage one time when I did this, and the sage was focused entirely on food and culture. So if they want food, we're going to kind of want them to settle sort of in an area that has like a little bit of ocean. Maybe we'll drag the big crab god over here. Maybe we'll terraform a little bit of ocean on this side. Not like a ton, but like a little bit. And then from there, we'll bring this big dog over here. And now that he's over here, we're going to want to set him up to make a desert on this side. It's not going to connect all the way to the rainforest, but let's terraform a desert over here. Just a, you know, little tiny desert right there. Perfect. Little tiny desert ready to go. And then we're going to take a settler, the hunters, and we're going to bring them over to here, I think. We'll probably have them settle there, I guess. Feels like an okay spot. They are now well on their way for this journey. And so you can see them slap on in right here. And we're going to want to kind of talk to them and figure out what inspires them too. And try to pick out a synergy that makes their food grow very, very rapidly. Because it doesn't really matter where you get prosperity from in this game. All that matters is that you get prosperity. You can get prosperity through having tons of kids and tons of food, tons of technology, tons of money, a mixture of any. Whatever makes your cities prosperous, go for it. Let's go ahead and pick this little guy up and see what he wants. He's not on my hand right now. Did I gush him on accident? Anyways, we've got Hunter. So for every unique herbivore inside their borders, we get 10 food. Or we can get the Trapper. So for every unique animal we have inside the borders, we get 15 bucks. Let's go with that because it's a little bit different. I may be hurting myself right now. I think most of the things I have sort of generate... the generic animals are going to be easier than the specific animals, but it's fine. We'll figure it out. So what do I have for animals right now? They took over 2 little tiles inside the water right there. We have critters, we have fish, and we have herbivores. So it was the herbivores that we were looking for, right? So let's put a herring in right there. It's not a red herring, so I don't think it's going to hold anybody's attention, but it's a good enough herring for what it's trying to do. So there's our biodiversity, and there's our free food. That should give us a nice little pile at the opening of the game. Not a lot, but it'll do. It'll get us there. Like I said, we're getting bonuses for everything herbivorous that we put in this area, so it should be okay. What can you do with the desert? Do you have anything herbivoring it out here? I do have a predator reptile over there. But as far as what's going on over here, I could pretty much only do guinea pigs. And guinea pigs are kind of like a filler. We do get an animal booster right there, though. Oh, what can I put over here? Oh, it's the jerboas. That's right. So we want to have some minerals around here. So I would say let's put the jerboa right there. No, never mind. Cancel. I changed my mind. Let's put the jerboa over here. So jerboa will go right there. Because jerboa wanted to be next to a mineral, right? Okay. And then we'll have this god over here. Drop a redstone right there. Oh, it's outside the city territory. What a bummer. Yeah, they expanded all to the right. You can see from the purple right here. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, they're going to settle right now. Very nice. Okay, they knew that they needed this, so they're going out to auto-settle it on their own. Fantastic. That's exactly what I needed them to do. That actually saved me a whole bunch of ruckus. Let's put a big red rock right here. That's going to benefit the jerboas, and then we could put a plant next to the big red rock a little bit further on down the line, and they will take said big red rock, and that will get a big bonus out of it too. So we've got good population over here. Really good population. Now, we also get a bonus for putting this little serval cat or whatever it is inside of any zone that has another animal that exists inside of it. So we already have the mice over here, the jerboas. This is also going to get a 50% boost. So we've got almost $40 coming out of that one node right there. Just absolutely fantastic. And I think these guys would like to be at 8 prosperity, and we just hit that. So we're going to unlock a new animal or a new thing that we can now put inside the desert, which will then keep our engines flowing and producing more stuff that makes our citizens happy, which then gives us more stuff to make them happy with, so on and so forth. You can kind of see how the flow of the game functions. Let's go ahead and pick ourselves a new desert biome thing. Inside the desert biome, we can get an ostrich, or we can get a lapis lazuli. We're not really stacking gems over here. Oh, we're also getting topaz and olive trees. That'll be good. We can take that. Let's go ahead and take the ostrich, just because I like ostriches. I always thought it would be cool to have like an emotional support ostrich. You know, like you go into Walmart, but you're feeling kind of anxious today. And then like you got like an ostrich with an orange vest on that like plods his ass on in there. Anybody messes with you, he's like, just like takes him out with his weird little fuzzy tennis ball head. I don't know what it is, man. I've just always liked ostriches. I think they're awesome. Now the ostrich is going to need a lot of space to roam. They get a bonus almost purely from being by their lonesome with nothing adjacent to them. We can turn this into a 20 food, 15 tile if we put him right there. Or we can wait for these guys to expand and get a little bit more space. But we already know that we're going to put a tree right there, I think, because this needs to be next to... No, don't do that. Don't do that. This right here needs to be next to a plant, and then we get a bunch of science and we get a bunch of money. Now, each of these also have, like, what is the equivalent of a godly gem slot? What I mean by that is you have the ability in this game to use your god powers, for example, to take this, and I could boost up these sand cats over here and increase the amount of, 30% food? Do these guys produce any food? I have questions. These guys don't produce food, so that would be, like, giant and wasted on them, so we'll go ahead and cancel that. However, the jerboas over here have 15. The fish have 15. The fish don't get anything for stuff being next to them, do they? Let's take a minute and figure out what we want to do next. These guys are kind of at 8 prosperity, which is pretty good. These guys are at really high prosperity, which is amazing. I would like to get another topaz or gem into their territory, but I just don't know how well it's going to work. So I can slap a topaz in right here. We're wasting the science buildup on it, which is kind of a bummer. But these guys are making a lot of money if we put this in right here. And money has kind of been their claim to fame anyways. Like, that's been their thing this entire time. So why not focus on the thing we're good at? They're also going out to expand the borders right now, which makes this a lot easier as well. So this may actually give us some play over here on this right-hand side. We still haven't done anything with this biome over here. I would sort of strongly consider maybe turning it into a little bit more desert, possibly. I know the planet can get bigger at some point. I can also boost up their minerals over here, no problem. So let's go ahead and boost that mineral right there, and we'll probably boost the jade over here too. Go ahead and get that done. And there goes a little bit more cash. I don't know if it was worth it. I felt like that would generate more, but we don't have a lot of Eon left. Oh, they have a new guy that wants to settle. Okay, I don't know if I want more ocean or if I want more desert. Let's take Big Dog over here. We'll take Big Stone Guy. We'll bring him over to this side, and we'll probably expand this out by like 2 more tiles, then put in another big ocean over here. That feels like the winner to me anyways. We can also get a mountain like next time around, so we might want to wait on settling these guys, and we may just want to make as many things more fertile as we possibly can. We haven't really placed a lot of plants, but we do have a little critter over here. Let's make him better. Let's boost up the rats a little bit. Are you guys also critters? You guys are just a predator. Okay. Fair enough. There we go. A little bit more food out of them. Probably won't take us any places. Won't unlock any new things or any new territory, but it is something. Do I have any other critters around here? I got another critter on that side with the herring, so we might as well do that. Oh, they expanded their borders over here. Good for you guys. Maybe I'll focus on food a little bit over here, since I think I'm pretty much out of minerals that I can plop in that area. So I could put a bedrock in right there. Oh, no, I can't. I sort of don't know what I want to do. But we can get a papaya tree over here, and that'll give us 20 food because of the 3 biodiversity. And then we could probably figure out something that we could put it adjacent to. We don't really get anything from there. We don't really get anything from there. I would say it's probably a good idea to hit that with massive aspect one more time. Although we could do... I mean, it's not too hard for us to put in some taro over here, because it just needs to be next to a mineral. So as long as it's next to a mineral, I think we're, like, solid on that front. And we haven't really done that many plants over here. Like, if you look, their biodiversity is not crazy great on this map right now. There we go. That should definitely help out with the food supply a little bit. It's also going to take us up over the top of prosperity again. We don't need to invent technology. We can buy technology with our richness. Oh, there's a new era ready to go. Fantastic. This will show you how the world changes. I mean, honestly, it seems really, really rad. It grips me in the same way, for sure, that it 100% grips me in the exact same way that Slipways grips me, because it's a very, very similar type of gameplay. So at the end of each era, you're going to have to make a choice. So you can go to the Monument Age, which means that, well, that plays in the Monument Age. We need a place that has elements inside of its area, and we have built a lot of elements. We could also go to the Iron Age if we had anyone that was focusing on technology, but we don't really. So I think we go to the Monument Age for me personally. It looks like we now get a construction site too, so we'll see what happens there. I went with the Iron Age the last time I played through this, and it was interesting watching things change. But now that we're in the Age of Monuments, so the Goddess City would like to have 16 prosperity. They're at 18 prosperity right now. Actually, we don't have a lot of elements. What we do have is quite a bit more in the way of gems, so we're going to have to figure that out. These guys just went and claimed a territory over here, And I'm pretty sure I can do something at the bottom of the ocean over here, elementals-wise. We can also expand the planet, which is probably a good idea too, because we don't really have the space for a third city over here. So expanding the planet might not be a bad idea too. Let's go ahead and do it right here. Hey, the planet just got a little bit bigger. Nice. That'll give us some more time to play around with. We also have the ability now to build a mountain, which might be kind of cool. Let's put a mountain right there. That's the ticket. All right, so now we got a mountain. Does that change what I can actually build inside of any of these areas? Do we have like a mountain biome added on in? Oh, the mountain adds a third layer. So that's what a mountain does. I could have built the mountain anywhere. I could have built the mountain back behind these guys, and then they would have got the extra 3 right there. Cool. All right, so we definitely don't want our city... We don't want our city to be on the mountain because it uses up those tiles right there. So we kind of want the next city to be right here. We have to choose between a merchant and a sage. Let's get the merchant. Let's try him out. Oh, we can't call humans to the wasteland. That's right. What biome do I want to build over here? I think I was going to expand the desert a little bit. I think. Let's give him a little more desert, I guess. Just to fool around with. And I would say let's just make an ocean over here. And then maybe we'll just make another rainforest on this side. Because I like the idea of a rainforest with a mountain behind it. I like that idea a lot. We're a little bit heavy on rainforest and a little bit low on ocean right now. But I think it's all going to work out. I think it's going to be... Oh, it changes the color of the mountain, too, based on what biome is in front of it. What a fantastic little detail. That's great. You just love to see it. That's just really, really awesome. Okay, so let's settle the merchant, I guess, over here. They will likely take over a big chunk of the ocean, I would think. Actually, they spread to the left. Good for you guys. I think they might choose which direction they expand to based on the amount of things that you can put on in there. We did have an ostrich that we could play around with, but we would actually have to leave all of that empty. We have a bunch of things we got to pick, too. Let's get some desert biota. So we've got lapis lazuli right there. We may be getting towards the end of the demo because it didn't really give us much of an option right there, did it? Let's get some coral rock because the coral rock benefits from the little fishies we already have in the water. And then we'll get a rainforest build right there. It gave us a gumbo limbo tree. But yeah, this game is great. Go check it out. I have no complaints about this. This is really awesome. It's really beautiful. It's fun to play. It captures that same idea of linking production chains together, basically, in order to score big sort of slot machine payouts. Very satisfying game. I highly recommend it. This is Reus 2. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were fooling around with Reus. Tomorrow it'll be something else. Take it easy, guys.